Hello once again. As I promised, I'm going to be doing a video about my equipment. I just wanted to focus in on this clam right here. My last video, you probably saw it was fully extended. Now it's shrunk. I think the problem here is that one of these fish is nipping at it. I can see a lot of bite marks on the edge. I don't know if it can pick it up, but there are bite marks right on the edge. I believe it's that angel. Anyway, on to the equipment. So, just going to move around here into my little closet stock room. There's my RODI water. They say that's the best water to use for a reef system. And show you my RODI later. Anyway, there's a picture of my sump. I'll get to that. This was my first refugium. It was made by CPR. It's an 18-inch refugium. I got it about 4 years ago. It did its job for a little while, and it still does. It's got lots of algae growth on the top, and I got lots of bugs inside there that really do their job. But I needed something bigger and better. So I bought some parts, and I converted an old 35-gallon tank that I bought at a local fish store. It was like a reef starter, and it did its job for a while I was into just the fish. But when I started to go into the coral, I needed a bigger tank. So there's the 90-gallon. So anyway, I made this refugium sump off of a tutor from YouTube. I believe it was Limpet Reef. He showed me how to do the partitions, and away I went. So anyway, I got the Berlin skimmer in there. It's really doing its job. I'd like to get another skimmer. You know, I've been looking on the internet, and there are really nice skimmers out there. They look like they would do a great job, but I just can't stomach paying the money for it right now. So this Berlin's gonna have to do. Anyway, just to start from the beginning where the water comes in, I think I bought this auto top-off system about a year ago. So the water flows into there. The only problem with this is I need to energize this pump sometimes to get the air out. I don't know why air gets inside there, but when it does, the water overflows onto my floor. So just a pre-maintenance thing, just get the water out, or sorry, the air out, and let the water flow. It flows into here. I made this myself, this little setup here, the pipe right down to that isolation valve, and it dumps into the sump through gravity fed. From there, the skimmer takes it and picks it up and puts it, a little bit of it, in the collection cup. See, it's doing its job. I'm happy. Gotta clean it out every so often, but it's not bad. Oh, and it just spews out into the second chamber where all the algae grows. The algae is really great. It's macroalgae. It really polishes the water. Got this light here. It's a Coral Life. No, yeah, Coral Life light. It's got a 10K bulb and a Actinic, so it's a good mixture. And there's my what do you call it? Two little fish. What do they call it? Phosphate reactor. I don't have the GFO in there now. I use another product to get the phosphates out. It does its job, but eventually I think I'd like to make that a carbon filter, is what they call it nowadays. The third chamber is the return. The return has a float switch, which has my auto top off, and I have a 500 mag pump that pumps the water back up through this tube here onto this isolation valve. I just use isolation valves because it's easier to do maintenance on the tank. And it spews back into the tank and does its cycle all over again. So it's a complete loop. Anyway, that's some of the stuff. Here's my bucket for top off. Just got to fill it up every 4 or 5 days. It's got a 250 pump, mag pump in it, so it does its job. Water gets down to a certain level and the water pumps back in, so it's auto top off. A lot of junk back here. I had an old protein skimmer that was a saline solution. That was good for when I had this tank, but it just doesn't do its job with the big tank. So it's in storage right now. A lot of this stuff is just junk piled up. I'm not really a neat guy, you know, crazy freak who keeps things nice and tidy. I guess you could call me a typical male who just likes to keep the stuff. I know where everything is, so anyway, that's organized for me. I use this food for the fish. It's a really good product. It's got spirulina formula in it. I like a lot of spirulina in it. This black powder is really good too. It's by Mark Weiss. He really has some nice products. I don't really like this product from Mark Weiss. I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me. Reef Roids, they're a good product too. Anyway, there's a lot of the food. I tried hatching brine shrimp sometimes. And just moving along here, got a bucket of Instant Ocean that I never used. I bought it about 4 years ago. It's just not doing it for me. This is the salt I use right here. Tropic Marin Pro Reef. I think it's a good salt. I buy it once a year. It's on special. They do Boxing Day specials. And here's the buckets, 2 5-gallon buckets that I put the salt in, mix it for a day, and then I pour it in. You know, suck some of the water out, pour it in. Anyway, turning around here, I've got a lot of my top off system, or sorry, not my top off, but I got what do you call it? You know, the dosing. I do that once a week. I don't think it should be done any more than that. Going down here, I got a UPS. It's good for 4 hours. It pumps. It keeps a pump running. Got an ultraviolet sterilizer, which is a AA. The only drawback with these is you can't replace the bulbs. They're all encased in one compartment, so you got to change the whole thing out. But it's doing its job too. My fixture is a 4-foot fixture with used to have 2 175 metal halide bulbs and a 2 110 watt VHO antennas. I swapped them out and I got a 400 watt metal halide ballast, a 400 watt bulb in there. On this side I'd like to put a 175, but just haven't got the money to do it right now. Anyway, there's some of the growth inside that old Refusion. It's still doing well. Just going right down now. This is what I see in the back of my tank. It just is a lot of growth, you know, a lot of the stuff that grows in the dark. They really love it. The snails are in there. In the nighttime they come out. Got a couple of shrimp. There's the sensor for the ultraviolet light. And I'm just going to pause and I'll just show you my my RODI unit.